Hello, I'm the Media Wiz, because one art form wasn't enough. Guys, I have a bit of a confession. Little Nicky is a guilty pleasure movie of mine. Yeah, I know. I'm in the minority on this one. Is the movie a masterpiece? Absolutely not. It falls victim to other tropes in Happy Madison movies released at that time. From juvenile humor to Adam Sandler doing an annoying voice where he talks out the side of his mouth. But for some reason, I can't help but find some of the jokes and the characters funny. And I think the premise was actually kind of creative. For those who haven't seen it, it's about Nicky, played by Adam Sandler, whose father is the devil. His two brothers are mean to him and decide that they're going to go up to Earth to bring upon the apocalypse to take their father's throne away from him. So Nicky has to go up to Earth and stop them. From there, he makes new friends, finds love, and gives product placement to Coca-Cola, Kmart, and Popeye's Chicken.
Popeye's Chicken is fucking awesome.
It is not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but me personally, there's some funny stuff that I thought was in it. But the weird thing that I didn't know about until recently is that Little Nicky actually has merchandising. These toys were made by a company called McFarlane Toys, created by comic book writer Todd McFarlane. The company was started in 1994 when McFarlane ultimately wasn't pleased with Mattel over the production figure tie-ins with his comics. After a name change just a year later, the company's first big toy line was based on McFarlane's famous Spawn comic characters. To this day, Spawn is advertised with each new figure in the packaging. Even these figures that I bought came with a little pamphlet advertising the Spawn website. From then on, they've done toy lines for many different franchises, from comics, video games, movies, musicians, and even sports figures. Well, if they do sports figures, why didn't they do one of Adam Sandler's sports comedies, like, I don't know, Waterboy? Oh. Well, I'll be damned. These Little Nicky action figures I got are actually one of 4 different sets. One of Mr. Beefy, one of Beefy and Nicky sleeping on the radiator, the Gatekeeper and Gary the Monster, yes, this got its own toy, and this one that I got. Nicky, Cassius, the Flask, and the dartboard. Let's just get the stuff out of the packaging and see how this goes. Extremely carefully. Okay, this thing is definitely going to be hard to get out. That was pretty easy because you see it has it comes in this nice little packaging, and that goes around this plastic bubble here. And now to take these out. This goes out easily. Okay, now to get these two out of the packaging, just need to untangle this protective wire. There we go. Okay, starting with the smallest thing, this is the Flask from the movie. And I gotta say, they actually did a really good job getting all the little intricate details in there. I especially like the little chain. They even remembered the chain that went around it. Look at that detail and that intricacies and the patterns that go into it. Like even that little shadow thing on the skull at the top. That's nice. I like that. Okay, first up we got Nicky, and we got Adam Sandler's kinda screeching face. The face is... The Nicky and Cassius figures have bendable plastic used in the clothing, which is a nice feature. I always like toys that put that kind of effort into the costumes. The clothing down, yeah, this is the actual outfit that Nicky wears at the beginning of the movie. Even got like the little logos and the little flames on the arms, and that's attention to detail right there. The shoes, the socks, the little pattern on the back of the jacket, and even more logos. There's also this platform thing, which I guess also goes along with like this little rock hell scenery. The black standing base is actually for Nicky, and in case you didn't catch it before, Nicky's figure comes with a pull string. Oh, don't tell me that, bro. Okay, well clearly the pull string doesn't work that well. Then again, these are from like the 2000s, so yeah, basically the pull string bit is that part of me feels like that may have broke it, or maybe it didn't. I think you just have to you have to line it up correctly is the thing. Yeah, it works a lot better when Nicky is put on the standing base. Apparently, this isn't the only Little Nicky toy to have a pull string. The Kevin Nealon Gatekeeper has one too. I looked up what it does, and you really don't want to know. Next up, we've got Cassius. He did a somewhat decent job representing good old tiny Zeus Lister. Oh, these legs are these legs aren't like Nicky's. They're stiff. The only thing you can move is the boots. The one on the right-hand side has more fluid motion than the one on the left. I think that's just to position the toy correctly. One thing I want to add with the Cassius figure is that the dart in his hand is supposedly detachable, according to the instructions, but that really doesn't seem accurate. And if it does, it's going to be either really difficult and you might risk breaking the toy. Then we get to this, which is supposed to be the dartboard from the movie. I don't know why the face, they made it look like a zombie golem thing, because it just kind of had a regular guy's face in the movie. This is probably how they wanted it to look, but, you know, since it's a Happy Madison movie, they couldn't go all the way with the look. For what it's worth, this model I think is good. The way it's designed, I like the little spikes on the end, I like all the detail on the dartboard itself, and like stuff like this with the horns. The stand in the back of the dartboard is made of a flexible plastic which locks into the rock mound from earlier, the bottom of which has a little speaker, and the back has a button that makes them say things. My overall thoughts on these figures, they're meh. The little details and the quality of the plastic and the molding are pretty good, even if certain things like Nicky's face are, yeah. The plastic used for the costumes is easily the best when it comes to the modeling, and the fact that they made a toy based on this scene...
Okay, mercy, you win, I give, game over.
It's something different, I guess. On the plus side, this is one of the first toys I've ever reviewed to have full articulation with the joints. Also, this is probably some of the nicest packaging I've ever had for a product since Funko and Playmobil's 11th Doctor. As for negatives, I feel like you have to really be into the movie or incredibly curious to actually want these figures. And I'm not sure if it's just age catching up with these guys, or if it was like this when they were first released, but little stuff like the pull string is pretty faulty. It's kind of like the movie. Not great, but I've honestly seen worse. I'm the Media Whiz, because one art form wasn't enough.